Well, here's 8 values, which is apparently not too bad. Let's have a go at it anyway. Yep. I don't think it's really much more of a concern because you can just work for a different company. You can't work for a different government. Well, yeah, otherwise we'd all be ruled by the Rockefellers still, wouldn't we? Yeah, that's kind of true. It's actually impossible to ensure welfare without a balanced budget anyway, so yeah, it kind of is necessary. Yeah, the market's generally bad at stuff that doesn't immediately profit, like environmental research. What? A stupid question. If it wasn't for international trade, almost half the world's population would die. Like, needs. Well, most people do get their needs, really, but you get extra if you put more effort in. The only people who have less ability are disabled people, and yes, we should help disabled people. So technically yes, but it does sound like a very sort of socialisty argument, so I'm just going to be neutral. No, it wouldn't, because as tight-fisted as we might think the government might be, they're not as tight-fisted as people. Well, kind of, but, you know, the amount of revenue isn't necessarily maximised just by increasing taxes because of Laffer curves. And if you completely ruin the economy, then you can't help poor people, so that really doesn't work. If you can't, I think inheritance economically is a bad idea, but morally it's kind of necessary because if you accumulate things, your life becomes kind of meaningless if you can't pass it on to your descendants. So, just from a purely sort of philosophical perspective, inheritance is kind of necessary just morally. Yeah, I think they should really. Excessive, of course it's a threat, yeah. But excessive, by definition, means too much. Excessive, by definition, means bad, so this statement is true by its own definition. That's complete nonsense. Yes. No. Not a clue. Well, yeah. I don't particularly like the EU, so... yeah. Nope. Well, yeah, I mean, if we're strong but nobody wants to trade with us, it's kind of useless. I mean, I'm sure North Korea's got a lot of strength, but they haven't got many peaceful relations, and that's part of why North Korea is so poor. So, North Korea doesn't work, so, yeah, it's true. No, they do. Not really. No idea. Britain isn't too bad. Yeah, I think so, yeah. That's probably not a good idea. Oh. It's kind of necessary sometimes. Well, everybody presumably would think that regardless of what their views were. As much as possible. They probably are already, so just don't bother. No, not really. It's nobody. It's important to maintain law and order. I'm not sure about this. The general populace makes poor decisions. No, I don't think so. There's an interesting little fact that, like, if you get a group of random people to guess the weight of a cow and then average it, it's almost invariably more accurate than an expert on cows guessing the weight of the cow. Now, it sounds wrong, but for some reason this is how humans work. So individuals can make poor decisions, but the general populace is actually surprisingly good at making decisions. Victimless. Drug use isn't victimless though. Like, how about your entire family and the community? Like, there's no such thing as a victimless crime, really. No man. Don't think so. Then again, yeah, it probably is technically true. Probably. I don't like it, but yeah. Well, no, because otherwise some random person's going to come along and control you, aren't they? So it's actually a protection of our liberty. No, not really. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Kind of. I think so, actually. Just because of principle. The better the leadership, the better. Stronger doesn't mean better. They're not synonyms. Complete nonsense. More than a decision. No, it just is a decision-making progress. Essential? No, they're not essential. But they're probably a good idea, but they're not essential. No, I want to live in a cave. I want to hit people over the head with a club when I don't like them. And eat berries and mammoth. Yeah. Well, I think an education into religious history is kind of probably a good idea. So, to a certain extent, yeah. Yeah, No. No. It's kind of people's spare time though, isn't it? I mean, you could view it as a sort of hobby, just done en masse. So I don't think you really need to tax them. Then again, I suppose a lot of them basically are corporations run by basically people who don't even believe them, so I think just taxing probably a good idea because of that. I only normally agree. United, it's complete nonsense. Many years ago we didn't have mobile phones, for goodness sake. Certain ones, probably, like actually being nice people. I suppose just an obligation to future generations. Well, yeah, because if your culture contains things that are unreasonable, then yeah, obviously. Don't think so. Well, it isn't illegal, it's just non-existent in some countries. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. That's complete nonsense. My culture is superior to Syria. It's a fact. Depends on your own personal view of what defines morality. It's certainly not unethical, anyhow. I don't think trying to force people to do anything is a good idea, to be honest. After the brain starts to develop, probably. I'm genuinely uninformed on the topic. But I think as soon as a brain starts to form, it is a human consciousness, and therefore a person. But before then, nah. Before then, it's just cells. Well, self-defense is a valid reason, so basically that applies to everybody. If you think the way an American does. I don't think it should be prohibited, really, though. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it doesn't benefit anybody, really. To be honest, it's like there's no reason why it should be legal at all. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, just look at feminists, for goodness sake. Like, YouTube suggested, should women shave their armpits or not? It's like, there are more intellectual topics in existence, and it doesn't matter anyway, so, yeah, it's dangerous to chase progress. That's exactly what insane progressives do. No. What country doesn't allow immigration? Like, literally every country has open borders. But completely open borders are a bad idea, so no. That makes no sense. How are you a government if you do that? Yes. What? What is my group anyway? Do you mean men, or white people, or WhatsApp groups? Like, that doesn't even make any sense, but it's basically... the question basically is, are you racist? That's basically all it's saying, so... Economic axis, centrist. That doesn't surprise me. Diplomatic axis, balanced. Civil axis, moderate. Societal axis, neutral. Well, just about dead centre. Which I think is probably about right. Cool. So, these are the results.